Addiction Gamer Podcast is brought to you by YouTube. Power of the Internet. Please stream a lot. Hello. So this is Logan from the Gamer Podcast. Today we're going to talk about the Resident Evil saga. So Resident Evil has came a long ways in its time. It's came all the way from Nintendo, from the 64, all the way up to Sony, to the PlayStation, all the way up to Microsoft, the Xbox, laugh out loud. So let's talk about the first game that they made, was Resident Evil Zero. Alright, so Zero started in 1998, and I think it's 1998, maybe it was 96. Not really accurate sure on that one. But Resident Evil started Zero. That was technically the first game they made. And then they made Resident Evil 1. That was just Resident Evil. Then they made 2, 3, and then right at 3, before the fourth one was made, they made Outbreak 1 and 2 of Resident Evil. So, when they made that one, you know, they started making side games to Resident Evil because they didn't really want to keep. They wanted to keep one storyline, but then they started adding detailed games to it because there's like a whole storyline to this game, but they couldn't just make it all into, you know, like 4 games. So what they did was they added different games, but they didn't categorize it as 1 through 7. So they made that, and then they made Code Veronica and Code Veronica X, and then they made Resident Evil Dead Aim, and they made Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles, The Dark Side Chronicles, and then they made 4, and then they made 5, and then they made 6, and now of 2017 they would make 7. Okay, and then they made different versions of Resident Evil, and pretty much the point of what I'm saying is to, you know, just in case you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? You just keep saying Resident Evil. So let's talk about the meanings of the games. So Resident Evil 1, technically Zero, Resident Evil Zero, you play as 2 characters. You play as Billy Cohen and Rebecca Chambers from Alpha Stars. You play as them 2 from the first one. They learn, you know, like they discover a train and it's infected with leeches, zombies, Cyberuses are the dogs, everything. They find a mansion and they figure out the mansion was there because of a doctor named Dr. Marcus. And he's the reason why the whole thing happened. He was getting revenge back on Umbrella. So then after that, then it was Resident Evil. And then in Resident Evil, the technically second game, you play as Jill Valentine and Chris Redfield. And they are sent to look for Alpha Team in Arklink Mountains. So then, after that, they learn that the Umbrella is doing everything. And pretty much, it's really Wesker and Dr. Birkin is the cause of it. And inside the mansion they go to is actually it's a biohazard because the whole mansion is set up for test subjects to see as their weapons can be really used. So they blow it up, Wesker died, and then Resident Evil 2 came along. And technically Resident Evil 2 is the third game. Resident Evil 2 came along, and then there's a character named Leon Scott Kennedy. It's his first day on the job of pulling into Raccoon City, and it realizes that his first day on the job is going to be hell. The place is taken over by zombies because of the T-virus that's leaked through the sewers. And then in Resident Evil 2, you get to play as Leon Scott Kennedy or Claire Redfield. Now, Claire Redfield is there because she's searching for her brother, Chris. So then, you know, Leon figures out what everything's going on. And then, you know, the town is nuked. Bam. Over with. Then Resident Evil 3 comes along. Now, before the town was nuked, you know, then there's a side part makes 3. Now, 3 is talking about Jill Valentine is back still in the city trying to investigate. And then the Nemesis is created, you know. So then you're fighting the Nemesis as Jill. You're playing as Jill fighting the Nemesis, and then other characters are there. You got a dude from Umbrella named Carlos, and you get to play as him also in 3. And then after that, the whole town is supposed to have been nuked. It was supposed to have been destroyed. And then 4 came along. And in 4, you get to play as, guess who? Leon Scott Kennedy, looking for the president's daughter. And then after that, it's not zombies no more, actually. In 4, it's not zombies, it's called the Los Plagas. So then in 4 took over. It ended when Leon rescued the president's daughter. And then 5 came along where you're playing as Chris Redfield in Africa with a new virus. And then after that, 6 came along when everything's supposed to be back to normal, but then again, it's not. Everything goes back to hell. And then after 6, it's supposed to be ended. It's supposed to be no more. And then Resident Evil 7 will be unleashed next year around January, I think 28th of... Yeah, I think it's 28th of January of 2017 for the last game of Resident Evil. But if I was you, I would play Resident Evil because it's the best horror game there is. The first-person shooter. It's just hell of a fun. I think it's better than Silent Hill. I think it's better than Fear because Resident Evil, you know, it's kick-ass. It's good, and they really did a good job playing, you know, putting it together, playing it, everything. And I did forget one thing. Operational Raccoon City. I didn't say that at first because a lot of people did not like it. They rated it, I think, a 3. And I rated it about a 9 because it's like SOCOM. The way Navy Seals SOCOM is because you have a team. And it's pretty much, I didn't say nothing about it, is because if you play Operation Raccoon City, it's pretty much like this. If it was true, then Leon never existed. So if you beat Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, and you beat it, and if you choose to kill Leon, then it's like Leon never existed, and the rest of the game never happened. So I didn't say nothing about it, but I would play it. When January of 2017 comes along, in a few months, I would fucking go buy the game. Because if you are into horror games, and if you're into Resident Evil, you would buy it. Because pretty much the whole set of the game is awesome. You know, like, you get scared. You know, it's just interesting. It's puzzles. There's puzzles in the game. It's just, you have to use your brain when you play it. So, I would. And thank you. And I will tell you, thank you for watching my video. This is Addiction Gamer Podcast, and I just want to tell you thank you. And my name is Logan, and my partner Sam will not be here today, but I just wanted to tell you thank you. And Addiction Gamer Podcast.